Forget about those Hollywood movies with scenes of convertibles speeding through the golden sunshine. The reality of this summer in America is much gloomier than you think. The laughter and chatter by the outdoor barbecue grill are now replaced by sighs when looking at the prices of meat and gasoline. The lively summer parties are disappearing, making way for worries about the cost of living. Americans are facing an energy and cost crisis so severe that it is burning through their traditional vacations. From a dream of freedom, summer has turned into a financial nightmare. Why have things become so unbearably expensive? Who is behind this crisis? In this video, we will delve into the wave of recession sweeping across America, uncovering the reasons why the distinctive summer cultural traits are fading away. I promise to reveal the truths that mainstream media rarely mention. Hit subscribe and let's get started. There was a time when the American summer was something almost everyone could reach. No need to be rich. No need for a luxurious lifestyle. Just a backyard big enough to set up an old grill, a few trays of meat bought at Walmart, some cold beers, and an SUV with a full tank of gas was enough for the whole family to feel that life was still good. People would drive hundreds of miles just to get to the beach, stop at roadside motels, listen to old rock music on the radio, and eat fast food at midnight. It wasn't luxury. It was simply a normal summer for the American middle class. But now, even the usual things are starting to get too expensive. A woman shared that she planned to host a Memorial Day barbecue for about 30 people, just like every year. Hamburgers, drinks, fruit, and a few snacks, nothing special. Until she started adding up the bill. Just the food alone exceeded $300. That was the moment she realized summer parties now require financial planning, almost like preparing for a small investment. In the end, hamburgers were replaced with hot dogs. The guest list was trimmed down, and guests were asked to bring something extra if possible. But that's exactly what is changing America. People are no longer canceling luxuries. They are starting to cancel normal life. Something very strange is happening. The American middle class is beginning to budget like college students. 40-year-olds are sitting down to decide whether they should buy steak or not. Families have to consider whether driving out for a weekend trip is worth the gas money. Many people jokingly say that inviting friends over now creates more stress than opening a tax email. It sounds funny, but it's also painful. What's noteworthy is that this crisis did not appear like an apocalyptic movie. There were no alarm bells. No sudden collapse. It has been more like summer slowly draining away each year. Fewer BBQs. Fewer road trips. Fewer gatherings. Then one day you look back and realize, when was the last time the whole family went on vacation together? That's why this story is not just about money. It is about the feeling of losing something that once brought color to life. Because when even the smallest joys start to require installment payments, people no longer feel like they are living in a healthy economy. Yet despite everything getting more expensive, Americans continue to travel in record numbers. So where does that money come from? Why do so many people still go on vacation even when they know they cannot afford it? That's where the story becomes strange. If barbecue culture is the soul of an American summer, then road trips are its wings. There was a time when the phrase "just get in the car and go" wasn't just an invitation. It was a declaration of freedom. The map unfolded. The gas tank filled up. Endless highways stretched toward the horizon. Today, that symbol of freedom is slowly fading at gas stations across the country. The idea of a spontaneous trip has been replaced by constant calculations of cost. Owning a family SUV and heading out on the road no longer creates excitement for many people. Instead, every visit to the gas pump becomes a reminder of how expensive freedom has become. Many Americans still travel, but increasingly they do so because they are emotionally exhausted. Life and work create so much pressure that people feel desperate for escape, even if that escape leaves financial scars afterward. People are willing to spend their last dollars for a few days away from reality. The freedom that once felt natural now often comes with monthly payments. When wallets are empty but the desire to escape remains, people begin turning to a dangerous ally, debt. Welcome to the backstage of the illusion economy, where beach vacations and luxury experiences are often funded not by savings accounts but by credit. Crowded airports and fully booked hotels can create the impression that everything is fine. But behind the scenes, many people are relying on high-limit credit cards, buy now pay later plans, and personal loans. Some are willing to mortgage their financial future for a brief period of happiness in the present. Behavioral psychology helps explain why. When major goals like home ownership or retirement feel increasingly unreachable, many people choose to prioritize immediate experiences. Beautiful memories become a substitute for uncertain futures. A week of happiness feels more tangible than a dream that may never arrive. Yet there is a hidden trap. A small vacation purchased on credit can transform into years of debt if only minimum payments are made. The experience ends quickly, but the financial consequences can linger for years. This is how the illusion economy works. It sells the image of an upper-class lifestyle while quietly attaching long-term obligations. The pressure does not come only from personal desires. It is constantly amplified by social media. Scroll through Instagram or TikTok during summer and America appears happier than ever. Beach photos, airport selfies, European vacations, rooftop parties, poolside cocktails. The internet makes it seem as though everyone is having the perfect summer. Then reality returns. Rent is higher. Savings are lower. Credit card balances are growing. That contrast creates a powerful form of collective anxiety, the feeling that everyone else is living a better life. Travel is no longer viewed only as relaxation. For many people, it has become social proof. A vacation photo says, "I'm doing fine." Whether that's true or not is another question. Many people are not traveling because they are wealthy. They are traveling because they are afraid of feeling left behind. A single airport selfie can hide months of financial stress. Social media excels at turning moments into illusions. You see a few seconds of luxury. You rarely see the months of sacrifice that come afterward. This pressure affects not only young people but also middle-class families trying to create meaningful experiences and memories. Vacations have become content. Evidence that life is still exciting. Proof that happiness still exists. At that point, the issue becomes larger than BBQs and road trips. It becomes a story about an economy in which people feel pressured to spend money in order to prove that they are okay. Who benefits from this? The answer is less dramatic than conspiracy theories suggest. It is simply business. Consumer spending forms a massive part of the American economy. The system depends on people continuing to buy things. Ironically, the economy often becomes most vulnerable not when people run out of money, but when they stop spending. That is why credit systems, marketing campaigns, and social pressures continuously encourage consumption. Retailers have adapted to a population with shrinking purchasing power. Discount stores expand. Budget products multiply. Consumers increasingly trade down to cheaper alternatives. People who once purchased middle-class products now search for the lowest-priced options available. Living standards are quietly adjusting downward. Yet even as vacations shrink and luxury purchases disappear, one surprisingly resilient habit remains: expensive coffee. Many Americans can postpone large purchases. They can skip vacations or expensive dinners. But they still buy their favorite coffee. Why? Because small luxuries serve as emotional rewards. When major dreams feel distant, people seek tiny moments of comfort. A premium coffee cannot pay the rent. It cannot purchase a house. It cannot solve inflation. But it can provide 15 minutes of relief. For many people, that emotional value matters. The coffee itself becomes symbolic. It represents a small reminder that life still contains pleasure despite growing pressures. Modern businesses understand this psychology extremely well. They are not only selling products. They are selling emotional relief. And perhaps that is the saddest part of the story. Summer eventually ends. Credit card statements remain. The financial pressures of today do not disappear with the season. They continue building beneath the surface. What makes this moment feel different is not simply that gas costs more, flights cost more, or food costs more. It is that many people feel a normal life is becoming harder to afford. Simple pleasures that once required little thought now require financial calculations. Yet despite all of that, people continue searching for small pieces of happiness. A coffee, a beach day, a short road trip, a family gathering. Maybe this story was never really about vacations or BBQs. Maybe it is about how ordinary people try to preserve the feeling of being alive in an economy that increasingly makes that difficult. Do you think summer feels different today compared with a few years ago? Do you still take road trips, host BBQs, or go on vacations the way you once did? Or have you started cutting back in order to keep your finances stable? And do you believe this is only a temporary phase, or a long-term shift for middle-class America? If you enjoy this kind of analysis that explores not only economic data but also the emotional realities of modern life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are many changes happening around us that economic reports alone cannot fully explain. Disclaimer: this content is intended for discussion and analysis of social trends, consumer behavior, and economic experiences based on public information, real-life stories, and cultural observations. It is not intended as professional financial advice or as criticism of any individual or organization.